Hello from Seoul. What is your favorite street food? If somebody asks me that question, I would definitely say it's Hotteok. Why? You will find out very soon. Alright, let's get started. In Korea, there are so many kinds of street food, but I think this hotteok is the king of Korean street food. If you ever tried it in winter, you know what I'm talking about. So today, I'm gonna show you 3 types of hotteok. You already like it, right? As always, let me start with the easiest one, a classic hotteok. You will need bread flour, unsalted butter, whole milk, and instant dry yeast. It's quite simple, right? First, let's make the dough. Put 6 grams of instant dry yeast into a bowl and add 220 milliliters of warm water, 30 milliliters of whole milk, 30 grams of sugar, and mix it. Cover it with a lid or plastic wrap and let them enjoy their privacy for about 10 minutes. Then these guys will give you a nice and fluffy present. Next, sift 300 grams of bread flour in a separate bowl. Add 4 grams of salt and whisk them together. For a better texture, people often add this glutinous rice flour, but let me guess. You're thinking like, what is glutinous rice flour? I don't have it. Guys, don't worry about it. You can still make nice and fluffy hotteok without this. Just follow my lead. Now bring your yeast mixture, who's having a great time there. If you can see some bubbles like this, you're good to go. Add 20 milliliters of cooking oil and 15 grams of melted butter. For information, to protect your yeast, please make sure to cool it down before you add it. Otherwise, you can't make beautiful hotteok. This time, slowly pour the wet ingredients into the flour and mix it all together with a spatula. If you have a hand mixer or stand mixer, please go ahead and use it. Then why am I doing this? I have a lot to say, but I don't want to talk about it. After 5 minutes, you will see it's still runny, so you might think, am I doing right? But trust me, this is what we're looking for, so no worries. Cover it with a lid or plastic wrap and wait until the dough doubles in size. If you're watching this in winter, please take this bad boy to the warmest place. At this point, some of you might want to say, Aaron, how long do I have to wait? Please tell me the exact time. But unfortunately, the time doesn't really matter because it can be longer or shorter depending on many factors such as room temperature or humidity. So rather than setting a timer, please check by the size. Now let's make the filling. I'm gonna use walnut, almond, and sunflower seed, but it doesn't have to be exactly the same as mine. Just use what you have in your kitchen. First, chop some walnuts and almonds with your knife. If you don't chop it, you might have to make an appointment with a dentist. So please make sure to chop them into small pieces. Then some of you might wanna ask, Aaron, why don't you use a blender? That's more convenient. Yeah, that's true. But if you use a blender, that will become too fine, almost like a powder. So when you have a bite, you might not notice what's in your filling except for sugar. So I strongly recommend using a knife so that you can still get that crunchy texture. You still don't want to use your knife? Then why don't you put them in a plastic bag and smash them down with this kind of a hammer or a saucepan? Since you can blow off some steam, maybe this can be a good option too. Put all the nuts into a bowl. Walnuts, almonds, and sunflower seeds. And add 5 tablespoons of brown sugar, 3 grams of cinnamon powder, a half tablespoon of all-purpose flour, and mix it all together. Too much sugar for you? Then you can reduce it. I'm just trying to show you the basic guidelines, so you can definitely adjust the amount of sugar considering your health and taste. You still don't like it? Then please wait until the upcoming recipes. I have 2 more presents for you, so don't go anywhere. Alright, let's check the dough. It got much bigger, right? Before we shape it, make sure to wet your hands with some oil and grab it. Otherwise, people will think Spider-Man attacked you with his spider web. Gently stretch it out and make it flat. From now, all you need to do is just add some filling onto your dough and close it tightly so that the filling doesn't come out while you're pan frying this. If it's your first time, it might be a little difficult, but after 2 or 3 hotteok, you will find out it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Next, put some oil in a pan and place it over low heat. You may think it's too much oil, right? But to make it more delicious, you should put a generous amount of oil as if you're deep frying something. It is the street vendor's secret. When the oil gets hot, place them nicely onto the pan and cook them for about 1 or 2 minutes. Once the bottom turns lightly golden brown, flip it over and press it down. Actually, it can be even tastier when you press it hard, because that way the sugar will completely melt. But for a beautiful thumbnail, I don't want to do that. I hope Claire doesn't get mad at me. You don't have this kind of hot dog press? Don't worry about it. You can use a regular spatula. For information, I bought this just for this one scene. It's not common to have this at home. To be honest, after today, I don't know what to do with it. Alright, it's done. Let's place this beautiful hot dog on a serving plate. Or if you want to serve it like street style, you can put it in a paper cup. I'm pretty sure that will take you to Korea. Alright, let's go to our taste tester. Claire.
I'm so glad finally I can taste hotteok before winter is over. I'm so excited. 아직 뜨끈뜨끈한가? 만져봐야지. Let me touch it. Still hot. Here we go. 맛있어. 와우. gosh. 나는 집에서 했다고 해서 왠지 홈메이드 스타일로 했을 거라고 생각했거든? 제대로 했다. You nailed it. 완전 맛있는데? 속에는 엄청 쫀득쫀득하고 밖에는 기름기가 너무 많지도 않으면서도 딱 그 크리스피한 정도로 딱 맛있게 잘 구워졌고, 그리고 시나몬 가루도 많이 넣어가지고 딱 씹자마자 시나몬 향기 진짜 세게 나. 너무 좋은데? 견과류를 아낌없이 넣고 크게 썰으니까 진짜 식감 좋다. 너무 좋은데? 특히 호두 장난 아니야. 진짜 좋아. 가서 호떡 장사 해도 되겠다.
Well, you're not a big fan of sweet dessert? You want it to be something like a meal or a snack? Then I'm pretty sure this savory vegetable hot dog will be a perfect option for you guys. For this, you can also use the same dough, so let's skip the dough part. You will need onion, carrot, chive, and 당면, Korean glass noodles. If you're a meat lover, you can definitely add some pork or beef. Maybe that's gonna be more delicious. First of all, let's prep the vegetables. Finely chop some onion, carrot, and chive. I feel like something is missing. That's right, green onion. I should go with this bad boy, right? Next, put 5 cups of water in a pot and 90 grams of 당면, Korean glass noodles. Some of you might think, what is it? I've never seen it before, but I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this a lot at Korean restaurants. That's right, it's the noodles in Japchae. Since they have a very interesting texture, they are often used when making hotteok or dumplings. Place it on the stove and turn on the heat to medium heat. Once the water starts to boil them for another 6 to 7 minutes. If you want to get the beautiful color that you've seen at the restaurants, you can add a half tablespoon of dark soy sauce, but I'm gonna skip this today because these are the filling anyhow. Drain the noodles with a strainer and transfer it to a separate bowl. Add 1 tablespoon of sesame oil and mix it well. It will prevent them from sticking together. This time, let's make the sauce for the noodles. Put 1.5 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of mirin, and give it a mix. Hotteok is a slightly deep-fried food, so it can be a little greasy. So to catch that greasiness, you can add a little bit of spicy Korean curry powder here. But let me skip it today because we are making a classic and simple vegetable hotteok. Put some oil in a pan, add the drained noodles and the sauce. What is important here is you should stir fry this until most of the liquid has evaporated. Most of the time, I recommend changing the heat to high heat and let that evaporate. But if you do that here, the noodles and the pan will be combined. I'm serious. So I want you to keep the medium-low heat and keep stirring it. I know it needs some time and effort, but your hard work will pay off. Now take out the noodles and finally cut them with scissors. About 5 to 6 times would be enough. And then add the chopped onions, carrots, chives, green onions, and mix everything. You know what? I forgot to add some black pepper. So please add a few shakes of black pepper here. While mixing it, it's really hard to resist this amazing aroma, but please don't be tempted to taste it. Once you put it in your mouth, you can't stop eating it, so you will end up with an empty bowl. So please hang in there, it's almost done. Once again, wet your hands with cooking oil and grab some dough. Stretch it out and add some filling onto the dough. Make sure to seal it tightly so the filling doesn't come out, and cook it nicely on the frying pan, just like the first one. Unlike making burritos or kimbap, it's okay to be greedy today. As you can see, the dough is quite stretchy, so you'll be fine. Don't be afraid of adding lots of filling in it. The more, the better. But if you add too much and break it, not responsible. Alright, let's go Claire. Claire.
It's so big. 엄청 크게 만들었다. There are so many kinds of hotteok, but if I have to choose only one kind, I would definitely go for this. I can even die for this. It is still hot. Look at this savory 잡채 here. 알록달록 속이 엄청 예쁘다. Here we go. Ready? 겉에 반죽은 똑같은데 속재료를 뭘 넣냐에 따라서 호떡은 정말 느낌이 확 다른 것 같아. 진짜 아까 그거는 디저트 느낌이라면 이건 진짜 정말 좋은 게 배가 부른다는 점. 너무 좋아. 이거 완전 내 스타일이야. 이런 게 내 스타일이지 바로. 그치?
This time, for those of you who want a lazy version, I brought this potato cheese hot dog. Since you don't even need to make the dough with flour, I'm pretty sure you will love it. As you can tell from the name, you only need potato and cheese. That's it. Super simple, right? First of all, cut 400 grams of potato into small pieces and put them in a bowl. And then add 2 tablespoons of water. Cover it with plastic wrap and microwave it for 6 minutes. If you don't want to use a microwave, you can also boil or steam it. No problem at all. Next, mash the potatoes. These guys will be the dough for your hot dog. Add 3 tablespoons of potato starch, a half teaspoon of salt, a few shakes of black pepper, and mix it. You only have cornstarch? That's okay. You can use it too. Grab some potato mixture and make it flat. Add any kind of cheese you like and close it tightly so that the filling doesn't come out. You may think you've seen this recipe from somewhere else. That's right, I made potato cheese balls with this mixture in my previous video, but today it's all about hot dogs. So instead of making a ball of this, let's make it flat this time. Again, put some oil in a pan and place it over medium-low heat. Since the potatoes are already cooked, you don't have to cook too long. Once it turns beautiful golden brown on both sides, that's it. Place them nicely on a serving plate and let's go to our cheese lover.
Claire.
It smells awesome. I love it. It smells like hash brown. It's for lazy people like me. 너무 뜨거워서 이거 손으로 못 먹겠어. Wow, the gooey cheese inside. Ready? 맛있다. 맛있어. 뭔가 이거는 밥 반찬으로 먹어도 될 것 같고, 혹은 진짜 간식으로도 나쁘지 않을 것 같고, 맥주 안주로도 또 딱이네. 딱 한 가지 아쉬웠던 거는 호떡은 역시 바깥에 추운 날씨에 먹어야 되는 것 같아. 손을 막 오도도도 떨면서 그렇게 먹어야 되거든. 내가 딱 그 느낌을 살리기 위해서 밖에서 먹는 것처럼 먹겠다. Imagining it's very cold outside.
Today, I showed you 3 types of hot dog. Which one was your favorite? Actually, hot dog is perfect food for winter. So before winter goes away, why don't you try these out? I'm pretty sure it will be fun to make. Alright, this is it for today and I'll see you next time.